Hi, welcome. So in this lecture, I'll briefly talk over the concept of git diff and git merge. So diff simply stands for the word difference. So the difference can have multiple meanings. So let's illustrate this with a very simple example. So right now you can see we are in the test repository of git fast directory. So I'll do some very fast and simple test. So let's see the contents of this directory. We have a file called new feature.txt. Let's open it and let's insert some contents in it. So let the content be here. We are talking about diff concept. Press escape key :WQ, quit and save. So let's clear the screen. So here you can see the star symbol here. So this is our custom bash prompt, and the star indicates that there is a modification over here. Now we have not added it to the staging area or the index, so there must be certain difference between the working directory and staging area in terms of this file, which is new feature.txt. So what's the difference? Now if we use a git diff command, which is not a visual tool, we still can see the difference. And here you can see in the green font, it says here we are talking about the diff concept. And this is the line I just now added to the file new feature. Now this line does not appear in the staging area since we have not added to it. So there is a difference between the working directory and the staging area, which is illustrated by the git diff command. Now this can be visually illustrated using the git diff tool command. So don't worry, this is the first lecture of this section. I'll be showing you in details how to use the git diff tool command and how to install the visual tool for this particular command. But I'm right now showing you just for illustration purpose. So if I press enter, you can see here jolly well the difference in the working directory and the staging area, which is depicted visually in this tool. So this tool is basically P4 merge, and we'll be talking in details about the installation, configuration, and how to work with P4 merge in subsequent lectures. So this is what git diff is. Let's exit from this UI and let's clear the screen. So right now I showed you the difference between a working directory and the staging area in terms of a simple file. Now git diff is a much bigger concept, and this concept can be further extended to include differences between staging area and the repository, which is the commit area. There can be difference between the commit area and the remote repository. There can be difference between repository and the commit area. The difference or the diff can involve more than one files. I just showed you a diff with respect to a single file. So don't worry if all this sounds a bit complicated. We'll drill down through this concept in multiple lectures in the subsequent sections. So now let's talk about git merge concept. So I'll illustrate the git merge concept through some simple diagrams. So here you can see a series of commits involving the master branch. So C0, C1 and C2 are 3 commits, but we have not created any branches, and this red outline box actually indicates the head or the final commit in the commit history. And now let's assume that we created a feature branch using the git branch command. We did some work on this branch and we have 2 commits. One is B1 and other is B2. And now let's assume that we have completed work on this feature branch, and now we want to merge all the changes that we made in this feature branch into the master branch. As of now, the head still points to the C2 commit of the master branch. So once we merge feature branch into the master branch, the head shifts from C2 to B2. So this was an example of a simple merge There are much more complicated merge scenarios, but just to give you a flavor of what Git merge is, I have explained you a simple scenario using these diagrams.